Good afternoon. It is the Daily Live here on Toffee TV. It's the Dream Team. It's James and myself. And as many of you will know, we have been called the Dream Team by many people. Many people within this room.
No one outside of this room. No.
Well, I don't know that for a fact. But I just know for a fact that within this room right now, 2 people have called this the Dream Team.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very, very true. What a beautiful feeling. What a Monday mornings when Everton have won.
And you lost.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right. I put that to the side. It's a nice little added bonus. You know, it's like when you order something from a takeaway and they bring extra stuff. Do you know what I mean?
The free golf.
You're delighted for the original stuff, but that extra stuff, that little can of Coke, the little bit of the dips, whatever, the garlic bread, that's extra.
Yeah, that's special.
That's just that extra little bit that makes you go, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. But you were made up with you getting your takeaway in the first place, so it wasn't really required because you're just so happy about the original bit. But it's just a nice little bonus.
It's a lovely feeling.
Yeah,
especially after the past few weeks where performances we started on such a low, then we went to a high, and then it felt like it went right back down again with the past few.
Almost like some kind of social experiment.
It's just a big roller coaster. Isn't it?
It is.
Keep going up and down, but I prefer it when we're up.
Like rolling and keep. Yeah, when it's up, you just got to enjoy it, haven't you? Yeah. And also the way it happened yesterday has to be a last minute, within the 90 minutes, within a few minutes to go, makes it special. It's the first one at the new ground. You can't beat a last ditch win, especially when you've turned it round as well.
Yeah,
and maybe you didn't play great as well.
No,
and maybe you rode your luck a little bit as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So to get the win felt extra special yesterday, and it was nice to hear. It was nice to hear like the atmosphere at the end, because the atmosphere at times yesterday was a little bit quiet, wasn't it? So just to get that atmosphere, going was really good. And it was just that it felt like, I think for a lot of people, from what I've seen from social media, it feels like, that's sort of the christening of Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yeah, with like the crowd properly gets behind
like with the last minute win, a proper limbs, a proper win, and it all feels brilliant.
Yeah. Judging by that first half as well, I thought it was going to be a very, very sad Monday, and everyone was going to be dead.
An angry Monday.
Yeah. And then to turn it around sort of the way we did, and also the fact that, that free kick was what sort of lit everyone up. It was a Pino, like, stopping him.
Yeah, and he pushed them away.
And then the whole crowd, and then that Munoz as well, is sort of like battle with Jack Grealish, and the fact that he just kept doing like little slight pushes and slight kicks to him, and then he was the one who kicked it into Grealish for the goal. It was all just perfect. How it all just worked out.
A little bit of poetry in there. No, it was at times yesterday we were really bad, weren't we? We were really bad yesterday at times. And even after it improved, just into the second half, they had 2 massive chances. Mateta with both of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they had 2 massive chances, and you just think if it goes 2-0, this game's over. But again, those little things, isn't it? Those little things kicks it up a little bit, kicks everyone up a little bit, and you get to that point where you're so angry with the performance that you can't help but shout, and that just raises the noise.
And then do
you know what I mean? No, but I think
just the little stuff as well, like a misplaced pass, and everyone's just like it's like a whole ground of just size.
But the thing about it is, I don't mind that, and I've never mind that. I'm not one of these people, as I think most people will know. I'm not one of these people who's like believes that you should just sit there and just applaud everything. When things are going maybe not right, I think noise is better than no noise. I think that's apathy. When it's just like, oh God, he's misplaced the pass. Yeah. I don't buy into all that. I never have bought into it. People, proper footballers, thrive under pressure, and I think our players responded to that pressure yesterday. I really do. I think everyone stepped it up in the last 25 minutes. Jack Grealish took upon himself those runs when he bounced Muniz off.
That was great.
Those runs.
If he would have scored, that would have been a great goal.
Yeah.
Oh, he sent him flying, and it's just right at the keeper.
If Beto had scored, that would have been a great goal. All those things. We've always said, and we always used to say, an angry Goodison was the best Goodison. And I thought that Hill Dickinson was angry yesterday. It was angry because we were playing so badly. The referee didn't help his cause or Palace's cause, because that helped us, that riled us up, that got us going. And I think that's what I'm saying. When people yesterday there was times when the whole ground was silent and Palace fans were singing, and West Ham done it the other night. And I would rather people were like, not getting personal, but like, come on, wake up, whatever it is. Yeah. Because our ground now, that noise,
the noise is insane.
It doesn't dissipate. No. It just stays in the ground. Yeah. So if everyone's reacting and everyone's getting a little bit angry, the noise builds up. And you know what? The other thing about it is, I think one of the reasons why people are a little bit quiet at the ground is, when you were at the game at Goodison, you knew all the people around you. You felt comfortable jumping up and going, "Fucking hell!" Yeah, or you felt comfortable getting up and singing. I think now, because everyone's a little bit like, "Who's the fella next to me?" I don't know who the fella is next to me. I don't know how he's going to react to me bouncing up and giving. But you know what? Sometimes you just do it automatically, don't you? And I think that happened yesterday. And I think we all just come alive. And now we all have permission, I think, now to do whatever we want and sing and shout and don't have to jump up and go, you're this or you're that. But if Everton aren't playing well, everyone's got the right to get up and go, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Come on.
And everyone definitely hugged everyone around.
Exactly, and that's another good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's another good one, when you can just hug people, that's when you knew,
When that goal went in, I had hands on me. I didn't even know where the hands were from people.
Mate,
touching me.
I'll take you back to the 94 Merseyside derby when Dunk scored his first goal. I remember I was 14, 15, and I just remember some woman kissing me. And I was just like, this is it. This is what I want for the rest of my life. This is what I want. And I married that woman. I didn't. That'd be weird. Stephen, thank you. Yes, thank you. That's very nice of you to say so. I try work hard at the vlogs, try and make sure that they have a good little story about them. And you know what? If you see me and you want to, tell your story or something. I mean, the fella yesterday, I seen fellas all dressed up in old vintage, World War II uniforms. So I was filming him and a fella come over and he just started telling me the story. And it was boss.
Oh, nice.
It was really cool. It was all about how the dock was where soldiers used to get off and walk up to Goodison.
Wow.
And he said, like, this, it all ties in. Yeah. And he told me the story, and it's in the vlog, so it's really good. Listen, that's that first half. We were, because let's be honest, the formation we went with, and I think it was it's one I put in my starting 11. It didn't work, did it?
No, it was just, it felt like, I don't know, every time Grealish or Diblin got it, because they are so similar, that nothing was coming from it, and then it just go right back round to the other one, and then go back to the other one. And then whenever Michalenko or someone got the ball, it was just he was trying to force it to Grealish too much. And I think with sort of Diblin's sort of lack of confidence playing for Everton, he's taking the easy option every time rather than properly going on his man. And that's why when Dyer went out there and he had Alcaraz to sort of support him with them sort of fast balls, changed everything completely, because he was a bit redundant down the middle. Nothing happened. Yeah.
I think just on Diblin and Grealish in the first half, because they play 5 across the middle, it just stopped all the space, didn't it? And we're not clever enough, and we don't have, because our wingers and our fullbacks are a problem. They are a problem. It's something we have to sort out massively. And I always caveat that by Jake isn't a fullback. He's a centre back, and he looked. And actually, when he went back to centre-back and Garner went to right-back, we looked so much more comfortable as well.
We did. Garner looked really good at right-back as well.
Garner can play anyway.
I know, yeah.
He can literally play anyway.
Yeah.
Ballon d'Or next year for him. But I think we just, because they had 5 and because there was a time in the first half where their 3 centre-backs were pushed into our half. That's how much the others camped in.
Yeah.
And it was so easy for them. And the goal showed that. It was one ball cut right through the middle of the park. Tarky goes with
Michalenko, yeah.
Michalenko has to drop over and they have a spare man. And of course, that's the side where Jack Grealish isn't going to track back, and you understand that. But it was so easy for them. And that first half it was because of the pace. And we just don't have full backs who were going to... There was one moment, I think, in the whole of the first half. I think it was... It was Jacob Brien did a little scoop pass
Yeah.
to Diblin, and Diblin got to the byline and pulled it back, and it went into the keeper's arms. And that was the only time, really.
Yeah,
but you're right,
once. The shot went.
And also, because of where Njai was, he kept on trying to go wide.
Yeah.
So we'd pick it up centrally and try and go wide. So we were never going down the middle. We never go down the middle of the park. And you're right, when Alcaraz came on, that just changed the whole thing. We had that extra man in midfield again, and we had someone who wanted to break the line centrally, because that's what actually Carlos Alcaraz does really, really well. He wants to go centrally. That's why he's got a decent link up with Beto. And what you'll notice is, like,
drives dead well with it as well.
It's what?
He drives well with it.
Yeah, he drives really well. And Mateta had a great chance in the first half, and it's something we don't do. It's where we never have a centre forward side on, so the ball can't come down the channel. They're always back to goal. So we can never play that side pass. And Mateta had one first half that Pickford, but our centre forwards, because we don't have players who are like in that position to go forward with it. So the subs made a big difference.
Absolutely. Carlos Alcaraz just changed it. It felt like a lot in the first half. We were getting the ball, and then no one was really moving for each other, or it was just that recycling of it, just going back round and round and passing it backwards, and that was getting like the crowd up a bit as well, because it was just like, it's just so boring. But then when Alcaraz came on, he was passing, he was doing great runs, like 1-2s with sort of Ndiaye with Beto and stuff, and it just looked 10 times better. And with Jack Grealish not being able to play the next game, he's probably made a good argument for him to start the next game now.
Yeah, I can imagine him starting on the right.
Yeah. In
the next game.
Dewsbury also played in the right though as well.
Yeah, but I think Dewsbury they'll want him back in the middle. I think it'd be, or he might play left. He can play left or right. We saw that last season. Sort of tucked in, because against City we'll need to be a little bit more conservative in the way we play. So rather than have him, he'll be tucked in. Might make sense more if it's on the left, because at least Mikalenko can go past him as much as he does. He tries his best not to go past people. What did you think of like the situation with Barry and Beto? Do you think that we have to now? Because we've been talking about this, haven't we, for a week? Barry needs a chance. Beto's not good enough. Barry gets a chance, doesn't take it. Beto comes on. He starts the next game. Do you think we have to almost look at them now as like one player?
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
if it doesn't matter when the other one comes on. This is just. It's not even like a fight between them who's going to play. It's just like maybe us as
the boat playing, yeah.
Yeah, maybe us as the fans just have to accept whichever one starts, the other one's going to come on. And if it's on if it's our time, it's our time. It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, it sort of feels like we just play both of them until one of them gets into a bit of a run of form, and then they take the role. And right now it's just, you can have 45, and we'll see who does better, and they start the next one. And then if you don't do well in that 45, the other one comes on. It's just going to be that cycle. Yeah. Because we're just waiting out for that patch that Beto had last season when he scored in 5 games back to back, and that's all we want.
Beto will be absolutely kicking himself today, though, won't he? He'll be absolutely kicking himself.
It's a good header as well. It's so unfortunate.
It's not a good header. I've had this argument. It's not a good header.
I know he hits it down, but the keeper's never. It's
not a good header. Because, and I'll tell you why. Look how long he's in the air for. Look how long he can see that. To me, all he has to do is just put it in a corner or head it down into a corner, and he doesn't. David Moyes referenced it after the game. He said he should have scored, and he should have scored. And he'll be kicking himself that he hasn't got that goal, that winning goal that might have. And do you know what? As much as like it's boss that Grealish scored, part of me wishes Beto had scored the goal to get him going. To get him going a little bit, because I'd always want me centre forwards. I wanted Beto to take the penalty because I want me centre forwards to score goals. I'm sure Basil would say the same. You want your centre forwards to get the goals and just keep going. But Moyes said it afterwards. He's a bit like, I'm not in any rush, and this is what I've got, and I'll do what I need to do with them. And maybe we as fans have to, because I was disappointed at our time, even though Barry was dreadful in the first half. He was dreadful, proper dreadful. Like said last week, in starting 11, just be busy, just fight, just like get in the game. And it wasn't, and it was like Monday night.
It's just frustrating. Things like it's just like how he touches the ball and stuff, and it's like he's got the quality, and it's like even that one where Dye fed him in, and it was like sort of a 1v1, and he messes it up.
The thing about it is,
I know
though,
it was behind him, but
the thing about it, though, James, is not everyone does know he's got the quality. That's the thing about it. That's what you got to remember. Not everyone sits there and watches videos of him playing for Villarreal or goes over his, like, what happened with the French under-21s or whatever. People just sometimes go the match and go, oh, I've heard this lad's all right. You know what I mean? Or Toffee TV told me he was good or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, they see them with their own eyes and they're like, no, what I'm seeing isn't what you've been telling me.
Yeah.
And so far, I've seen very little that impresses me about Barry. Very, very little. Couple of nice touches against Brighton.
Yeah, he done.
Couple of nice touches here or there. But that's not don't get me wrong, I'm
not writing it off.
not writing him off by any means. Not a chance. I also saw like his stats of like how long it took him to get going at his other clubs. And it was like, you know, I think one of them was like he didn't score a goal till like halfway through the season, and then he ended up getting 7. So I'm not writing him off, but at the same time, you can't convince people by reputation. You have to go and do the job.
Just show something.
You have to show something, because David Moyes is in the same boat. He's like, I seen yesterday on me, like David Moyes. We had the conversation about Schmidt at the end of the season, didn't we?
Yeah,
before the end of the
play
season,
him.
and we were talking about playing him, and it's just like David Moyes doesn't have the patience, and Everton fans don't have the patience, and David Moyes knows Everton fans don't have the patience. He just wants to win games of football, and we all feel better. Put it this way: we were sitting here now when we got beat, and Barry played 90 minutes. We'd all be going, we got beat. We wouldn't be going, yeah, but Barry got 90 minutes under his belt. We're sitting here going, we won a game of football and we're all made up. And for every person who's like, you got to play these players, you have. And he's given 45 minutes, and he'll say, that's 45 minutes, he learned a lot. And we'll go away and we'll look at the tapes and we'll assess it and we'll say, what do you need to improve? But what Moyes won't do is, by the way, Moyes won't say, you're done. Moyes will go, right, okay, well, the next game against Man City, we might start Beto and we'll bring you on. And then it's a case of...
You get the tired legs to start.
You get the tired legs, yeah, and then you learn from what you didn't do, and you have to start doing. And it's the same for Beto as well. What are you not doing? We have to show you that. And that's how that might be a different style. That might be a bit more tough love than just, oh, you can play every week. Don't get me wrong, you'd be showing him anyway. But Barry was rubbish yesterday,
really bad.
and everyone knows that. You can't hide that. Beto was rubbish on Monday night, but Beto showed more yesterday coming off the bench.
Yeah, Beto was good yesterday.
Because he started running into the channels and being like, I need to show something that I didn't show the other night. And we got a response off Beto, and that's what I'm saying. Beto will be absolutely kicking himself today that he's not the hero, and he should have been the hero. Yeah. And that's disappointing, because that would have been a lovely, like, aesthetically pleasing goal. Lovely little ball by Carlos Alcaraz. Lovely, fantastic cross. Exactly what we were talking about last week about what we needed to start doing, just putting a ball in the box. And he rises, and you can see it, and it's like the world stops for a second, because you can just see it's like the ball. It was like talking last week about like going to the moon. the rockets and the intercepting. It was like you can see it. It's all, everyone just freezes. You can could have took a picture in that time, and it hits the goalkeeper, and you're just thinking. And luckily enough, it ricochets back and goes in. We got a massive piece of luck for that goal, of course we did. But they've just got to fight it out, and Moyes will give both of them opportunities. But what they can't do is sort of like you're right. Someone's got to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Or come January, someone else might take that opportunity off them.
It's a World Cup, yeah. There's
You're
two
right,
Brazilian strikers that we've been linked with.
Hey, you're right, mate. It is a World Cup year, and players want to play. And Everton might be able to get a nice loan from somewhere, someone who does want to play.
Yeah.
So you never know. But listen, no one should write Barry off. No one should be like, he was poor and he has to improve, but let's not necessarily write him off as such. But there are still lots of things that need to happen with this team. As I said, fullbacks is one, because I just think that Jake O'Brien playing right back is just becoming diminishing returns all the time. I think it's, and you said James Garner did look more comfortable, or we looked more comfortable as a team when James Garner went to right back.
Yeah. And also that whole game, I don't know if you've seen it, but Tarkowski was just shouting at O'Brien the whole time, just for getting into different positions. And it looked like he was fuming with him. But obviously Michael Keane went off. And we don't really know what's happened with Michael Keane, do you?
Ribs. Moyes said he had like a pain between his ribs. So that might be like he might be able to breathe properly.
He
didn't know. He just said he didn't know. He just said he was like, obviously they come in straight away, don't they? Keane had been playing all right up to that point.
Yeah, he had.
Certainly in the first half, he got us out of trouble a couple of times.
But then, sort of, if he's not back, is Branthwaite even close to being back? Because no one really knows properly when he's back.
Well, we've got 2 weeks, haven't we? I can't imagine he'll bring him back for the City game.
So that mean O'Brien goes there?
But then if that means, and again, this is what we, and I mean, listen, one of the most telling things yesterday was the sub for Njai.
Coleman.
Yeah.
That Patterson's now 4th choice right back and 5th choice left back.
Patterson's done, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like the bench is hilarious, isn't it? We had 2 goalies. McNeil, never playing.
3 fullbacks.
Nathan Patterson, who clearly is never playing.
Yeah.
The manager trusts Seamus Coleman more than he trusts Nathan Patterson. That just tells you everything you need to know.
As well, Michael Keane coming off and Jake O'Brien shifting over instead of bringing on a fullback when we've got 3 on the bench. Yeah. He brings in a boot.
Well, I think that was like twofold though, wasn't it? It was like it made sense in terms of
it made sense because James Garner's good there, but you think he's got 2 right backs.
Yeah, but I don't think Nathan Patterson is getting a game.
No,
ever.
I know. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And he's not going to play Seamus.
It was like 25 minutes, wasn't it?
It was still nil. We were still getting beat 1-0, weren't we?
Yeah, because it had been on the pen.
Yeah, so we were still getting beat 1-0. So he was never going. He needed that energy. I think it was more a case of he needed the energy in both positions and switching James Garner, and that's what's good about James Garner. And Neil Boonham, to be fair, did really well when he came on.
Really good.
Even for the penalty, he got the ball caught under his feet, and sometimes, like if he hadn't kept that ball, they'd have broke. But he managed to keep the ball. He played it to Michalenko, and then made like the run. And we don't really see many of our midfielders make that run. He made the run. Michalenko plays it round the corner. The lad gets caught up with Beto, doesn't see him going on the blind side, and he takes him out. Yeah, so it's not about trust with Seamus Coleman and Patterson. It's about Patterson being over 10 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Like, he's like completely... And that I was saying, I think I said this on a show last week, it was like, that's where I think we could have done better in the summer, is by selling Nathan Patterson or trying to let him go, getting rid of him and getting rid of Dwight McNeil.
Yeah.
And saying, well, we've made a problem for ourselves now. We have to replace these players. But maybe the finances just weren't there.
And there was already a lot of change as well, I suppose.
I know, but if you're gonna go in, go all in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go, like he ain't like Dwight McNeil yesterday. You'd think that would have been an opportunity to come off the bench because of the players we had playing. He takes Diblin off. You'd think, well, maybe it might, and he doesn't. He brings Carlos. So Carlos Alcaraz is ahead of Dwight McNeil. Dewsbury Hall's ahead of Dwight McNeil. Greer's ahead of Ninja's, Diblin. They're all. So he's so far down the pecking order that it's like
third choice minimum for the position, isn't he?
We should have really sold them and Patterson and really got some money and bought a right back.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. Anyway, that's the way I look at it.
It's the same with the right back position. Jake O'Brien's ahead of Patterson. Coleman, Garner's ahead of him. Is there anyone else you think he'd throw there before he throws Patterson?
Me. No, but he's had enough, hasn't he? He should. It's really. In many ways, I feel really sad for Patterson that he never got to go. There's 2 clubs who wanted him. I think Seville was one of them, wasn't he? And
the Napoli move.
There was another one, yeah. There was another one who wanted him, and it's just disappointing that he never got to go. Because as much as he's not wanted by Everton, it's sad that the lad's career. I do feel sorry for the lad because of all the injuries. But
I know, but I'm sure he'll go in January.
Hopefully he does for his own sake, and hopefully he goes for us as well, so that we can
stop talking about him.
No, not stop talking about him, because I don't think we do talk about him. But
no, but it's the sense of him being on the bench and everything.
No, but I'd like him to go. I'd like him and McNeil to go, because what's the point?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What's the point? They are literally sitting on the bench for no reason. It's to be honest, when we played Wolves in the League Cup, my biggest disappointment was McNeil started. Because it was pointless.
Yeah.
As in, he isn't playing for Everton. So what was the point? So for me...
Do you think it's weird, though, how quick that has changed? Because I know ultimately it's a different man and everything, but that, under Dyche, he was probably our...
McNeil?
Yeah.
I've never rated him.
No, I know,
mate.
but
I've never rated him.
Scoring all of our goals.
I couldn't ever come on here and lie. I have never rated Dwight McNeil. He was the poster child for Dyche, as in like.
No, but Everton were very reliant on him. He was a much better player than Jack Harrison.
That doesn't mean he was a good player. That just means we were a dreadful team.
We were
in my eyes, anyway. Yeah. That's just my opinion. I can't hide. I can't like rewrite. I can't delete all the tapes. Everyone knows my feelings on the player. I don't think the player is good enough, and it angered me, like literally angered me how much, like. People loved him, and I just don't think he's anywhere good enough for Everton. People tell him he can play in this position and that position. He's the future of number 10. It's like it really annoyed me. And listen, people liked him, and he did score. Don't get me wrong. His left foot, I've said this loads of times. His left foot is incredible. Yeah. Set pieces are brilliant. Sometimes, at times he'd get the ball. His left. But one left foot doesn't make a footballer. Like, Messi isn't the greatest footballer ever because he just does stuff with his left foot, does he? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, he has got an incredible left foot, but it's not enough. He's got no pace. His mobility's so limited. We see him when he has to, like, manoeuvre himself to get on his left foot. He doesn't even try and use his right foot, which is I find... quite shameful, to be honest, that a player who's like...
It is mental that he never doesn't even take a touch with his right
foot.
Well,
I'm not being funny, right? I would be at the training ground for an hour every single day working on my right foot. That's literally part of your job. Yeah. Like Ryan Giggs said, when do you feel about Ryan Giggs? Ryan Giggs literally said that every day, like it almost feels like an old school thing. He said, after training, I used to just go and kick the ball against the wall at the training ground every day for an hour and build up my right foot. And he said by the end of my career, my right foot was nearly as good as his left foot, and that enabled him to play centre midfield when he'd lost like the pace to play on the wing. And anyone who'd watched Ryan Giggs in the latter days, centre midfield, he was brilliant because he knew how to read the game. All right, now maybe he couldn't do it because of the pace of the game and everything, but then. What do you know what I mean? You're a professional footballer. Yeah. Go and train every single day, whacking the right foot. I'm sure a coach would be happy to come out with you, or get some of the under 21s or whatever, and just with a coach and do some work on your right foot, because he's massively limited his own career. He's limited his own career. So that's my feelings, and my feelings are very clear.
It was just more so the fact that. He was a big part of the Everton team, and when he played against Wolves, it was just like he just didn't care. Yeah. Like he didn't. Like you can dismiss sort of, I don't know, a lack of quality, but sort of like there's that effort thing, isn't it? Where it's like it's the worrying and.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like, but what's good about this is, this is how it works, though. This is how teams get better. They shed the players who weren't very good. And the next ones, and again, it's like, this is not personal. We don't know these people. It's not a personal thing. It's a football thing. It's Mykolenko and Jake O'Brien can't be our fullbacks going forward, because Jake O'Brien's a centre back who's filling in, and Mykolenko isn't good enough, in my opinion, to be a modern day. Like, look what the West Ham fullback done to us the other night. Yeah. That's a modern day fullback, a left back. Imagine our team if he played for us. Him going up and down that wing all day. That's what a proper left back, modern day left back looks like. That's what we need to be aiming for. We need a left back and a right back, and that's the difference. If you want to improve your team, you have to go out player by player by player. Last year on the left hand side, we had Jack Harrison and we had Dingo, the Danish kid that I can't even remember. Lindstrom. Is anyone missing them? Does anyone watching Jai on one side and Grealish on the other side and go, oh, I missed those two lads. They were cracking lads. I really like them. Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to just keep improving and get better.
Lindstrom's played 1 minute for Wolfsburg this season in the Bundesliga.
Yeah. You know,
I don't know if he's injured or whatever, but
if you want to be a team that's challenging for Europe, you have to just keep improving and shed those players. And I'm sure these people are lovely, lovely people.
Yeah, as well with that though, I think if you sort of look at the Everton team, you can see the players who are willing to step up. Like, you look like a James Garner, who you'd sort of put in the same category as Dwight McNeil.
You know what? That's a great point, mate. Because last year, no, it is. That's a fantastic point. Because last year I did put them in the same category.
Yeah, and he's really kicked on.
And Garner's looked at himself. You're absolutely right, mate. Good point, well made. Dream team. That's exactly what James Garner's done. He's had a look at himself and gone,
I need to be better.
I need to be better if I want to stay in this team, and I need to work on myself. And you can see it. The lad has been a 7 out of 10 or more every single game, and he's played left back, centre midfield, and a bit at right back. Yeah. And he's like, I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you. And when I do it, because the lad's got all the basics that you need, all the basics. He's got a brain. He's got a brain, and what he lacks in that pace, he's starting to make up for by just doing the extras. Yeah. How many times now do you see him just when Grealish has got the ball, he just appears on the right
left,
of him. He'll just appear on the right, won't he? Because he's like, this has worked. Yeah. This goal has worked, and we can do this again. So fair play to him. He's having a really good season so far. That consistency, and don't get me wrong. Like Michalenko's done that before. Michalenko has gone from being a player that you looked at going, oh my God, to a player now you goes, solid Premier League player. No issues with him being in our squad. For some games he would suit. Always does well against the likes of Salah and that. But when we're at home and when we're Grealish has got the ball and it slows down, I want to see him going past them. And then not just going past them, but putting a delivery at the end. Juve last week, not only did he bomb on, but then he played an absolutely brilliant ball into the box. Yeah. And that's the difference, isn't it? It's the quality at the end of it. And that's where Michalenko has an issue, is that you watch him and you go, he gets to the box, and then that's where the quality just stops. Yeah. And we have to go, listen, as someone just said in the comments, these people are all really, really well paid young men. We're sitting here, at 1:30 on a Monday, just talking about them. It shouldn't hurt them. If it does hurt them, then that's on them. These are well-played people who the manager doesn't have to satisfy any of their demands. He really doesn't. He doesn't have to sit there and go to Barry. Well, he'll go to Barry. You're not in the team. You didn't play well, so you come off. If anyone comes up to who's on the bench, you go, why am I playing? Go and look at the tape. Yeah. Go and look at the tape. Nathan Patterson can't go in and knock on the door and go, why aren't I playing? Moyes will go and watch all the games from the end of the season. Go and watch pre-season. Go and watch your performances. Dwight McNeil, you're absolutely right. Go and watch your performance against Wolves, right? It was horrendous.
That was a terrible performance. And then, so that is the thing with Barry, isn't it? That he's had them moments when he comes on and he does change it a bit, but better also. That's the awful with them too, isn't it? Is that you can watch the tapes, but you don't watch the tapes of the other one, and it's they're counteracting each other. Yeah. But yeah.
That's an ongoing thing. That Barry has to improve, and Beto has to improve, otherwise Beto will be gone at the end of the season. There's no doubt about it. He'll be gone. They won't give him a new contract, so they'll have to sell him, and they'll look for Beto, and they're not going to sell Barry. No. So Tom says offer Patterson back to Rangers. I think they've got enough problems at the moment.
They just sacked him, haven't they?
Sacked the manager. They ate Schmitty. Yeah. They don't like Kevin Felwell, I believe.
Felwell's son's the head of recruitment now.
Jesus.
They do hate Schmitty. I've seen people saying it must be a tax write-off or something, that he's not a real player, or we owe Everton a favour.
So can you imagine Rangers coming back to Everton? Like, not like, you imagine the Rangers Rangers fans, if they came back and were like taking any of our players, there'd just be massive question. In fact, there'd be massive question marks of Everton going, is this some kind of
sick joke?
Yeah. Some kind
Imagine
of
Dyche is the manager there, and then they get Dwight McNeil and Patson.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Get Patson.
No, I'll tell you what though. If they did, if Dyche went to Rangers, honestly, nothing would make me more happy. Nothing would make me more happy.
I could see him being the Forest manager, you know. I could see them sacking Postecoglou and getting Dyche.
That would be some incredible turnaround, wouldn't it? Like, literally incredible. Like a club, that would be a club going for the, like, 1 minute going for the Europa League to the next minute basically saying we're trying to stay up.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
They haven't won like 7 or 8 games now, innit? Ange hasn't won a game yet. It's like that Marinakis has already came out saying like I won't hesitate to sack him.
That is definitely a case of be careful what you wish for, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is definitely. Graham Sharp is somewhere certainly saying be careful what you wish for, because that's what he used to say to Everton fans. No, it's incredible.
And he lives in Nottingham, doesn't he? He's a Nottingham Forest fan. So in my head, it just makes sense. And be a mental appointment. But for to like the end of the season, I don't think it'll be the future of them. But I could just see Dyche being the Forest.
I just hope Dyche goes to Rangers. That would be. That would be the dream. Like, because I was on the radio in Scotland when Thelwell was going, and I was like, take Dyche. Why don't you have Dyche? The fella was like, I was like, nah, Dyche should be great for you. Go and get him. Be amazing. No, listen, I'm just like looking at the comments. Barry, there's a lot of I understand. There's a lot of frustration with Barry, and I get that. I can't sit here and tell you he's going to be good. As I said yesterday, patience is needed. But Evertonians...
What do you think that, with that thing of the patience? Because I was thinking about this, and you know the way Crystal Palace sorted out the patience with Mateta, but then also I was thinking about sort of the team that was around Mateta and the fact they had like Elise, Eze, Zaha for a period, who were all coming up with goals and stuff. Do you think the issue with Everton is that, I don't know, because of the fan base and stuff, there's more pressures that he has to perform, or do you think it's that we don't have the people around him to perform?
It's both, I think. I don't know what you think, but I think it's both. I think Evertonians, right? And I let me know if you agree or disagree. We're not patient, as in like we've been patient enough. There's almost like two forms of patient. Where like no one's banging on the door screaming that we must win a trophy. So there's an element of patience there. But we also don't have patience for this kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like we understand that players aren't going to come ready-made. Yeah. But we also demand an element of fight and understanding and just general hard work. And if people aren't showing that on the pitch, the fans aren't going to give much to the player. And that's just the reality. There is more pressure at Everton, and there's more pressure for a start, because there's 51,000 people in the ground yesterday, and of course they're not all Evertonians. I understand that, but there's 51,000 at Hill Dickinson yesterday, and that's where the pressure comes from. We turn up week in and week out, and we're gonna have a deeper conversation about the ticketing situation. I think me and Baz are gonna do it on another show. I'm not happy about the ground not being full. I'm not happy about.
Did you see them 2 spaces?
I'm not happy about the amount of spaces that are empty in the ground. Something somewhere is not going right on the ticketing front, and it needs to be looked at. So I think me and Baz might sit down and do something on that, because we need to understand why tickets for certain areas or for certain sellers aren't selling, because there's so many people out there who want tickets. There's demand.
I'd buy them.
And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. There's loads of people who want to go to the match, and there's empty seats. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. So there's fans who demand. There's nearly 50,000 Evertonians in the ground yesterday. So we're not going to sit there.
Yeah.
What's the cheapest ticket? 65 quid
for another,
right?
yeah.
We're not going to sit there and just be like, well done, son. Well done. We got beat, but, you had a good run round. We're not. We're just working class people who pay a lot of money. This is like, I've said this before. We are like in the top echelon of football fans as far as I'm concerned. We think about it week in and week out. It's why, 1,000 people are watching this right now. Like, and we'll watch it every single day. We consume football all day, every day. What's going on? It's what makes Everton social media what it is. There's always stuff. There's always something going on. If anyone finds something out about something, it spreads like wildfire. It doesn't matter what it is, a signing, an injury, whatever. We expect so much from our football club, and we've been very, very patient. But if players aren't showing it on the pitch, fans are gonna fans are gonna have their say.
Yeah, but just sort of with the putting time into Barry thing.
Yeah.
How does Everton even go? Because the only sort of striker you think Everton have done that with is Calvert-Lewin, isn't it? That he came and he played right back at once, didn't he? Under Koeman and stuff, but he had like Lukaku and Richarlison sort of competing with him for places, so there wasn't as much pressure on him always to be the one to score. So do you think the issue is that we shouldn't be really going for strikers like Barry right now?
No,
I don't. Right. I just don't know what's the solution.
All right. Well, let me just address something first, Mark. I don't give a shit, right, about what people say on social media, right, about footballers. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter, right? The footballers shouldn't be on social media looking for their own name. I'm sorry, but they shouldn't, right? I would personally, I wouldn't go. If I was going to put something about someone on social media, footballer, I'd go, so and so isn't having a good game, or we need to look at the positions. If someone's having a go and saying this person's crap, blah blah blah, that footballer shouldn't be looking for his own name. I'm sorry, but they're professionals and they shouldn't. Social media, if you if you're a professional footballer, just stay off it. You're a professional footballer. It's your job. You're not, it must be hard. But you don't need to go on there. Why do you need that? Like, you're a professional. If you don't have a good game, go into training the next day and find out off the manager and the coaches why they think you had a bad game and improve. And that's every sportsman, by the way, all over the world. Every sportsman. That's the point of a coach. That's the point of, like, the manager, is they identify what's going wrong on a match day. Come in the next day and there's like a program of what you need to improve on, and they start working on you. So for me, I don't buy into social media, right? I get, like, nowhere near, right? I get fucking pelters on social media, like proper pelters. Like, if I was to search my name on social media, there'd be some horrible things about me and horrible. There was an ex-professional footballer who called my family an absolutely disgusting, like, thing, which, people in my family were really upset about. What can you do? These, the world's full of knobheads. You just have to put filters in place or don't go on there. That's just the way the world now. Barry needs to massively improve, and the only way he's going to improve is by playing games of football and the coaches working with him every single day on what he's not doing right. I saw a great video the other day. I was going to share it. If they're getting abuse from DMs, then just don't have Twitter. There's nothing right. There's nothing you can do. Honestly, there's nothing you can do. I'm not putting it in the same category. But I open up my DMs and I get shit I get loads of grief, honestly. It's like being left wing is not a thing anymore, which is dead weird because I'm a Scouser. I'm a Scouser, which is weird. Yeah. Stay off social media then. Stay off social. You can't change the minds of people. The only way you can change minds of people is by improving. It's not right, but that's the world we live in. It really is the world we live in. If people are sending you stuff on social media, don't just walk away from social media. You don't need it in your life. You don't. Or go to a social media where you don't get any of that. Go on, just live on TikTok and don't worry about a place where you can get don't have an account. Just don't have an account with your name on it. Have an account where no one knows who you are. Yeah. Sure, there's loads of footballers who have accounts that doesn't have their name on it, and they're completely anonymous. But going back to what I was saying, I saw this video a couple of days ago of this coach, not an Everton coach, but he was working with Njai, and it was a wall, and it had one of those big exercise balls on it, and basically Njai was using it as like a defender pushing up against him, and then he'd throw him the ball, and he had to like take a touch and knock it back, and he was this big exercise ball that's like bouncing, so he's like he's not flat. And there's loads of stuff.
But you know, in sort of your lifetime as an Everton fan, have we ever signed a striker who hasn't really been at the level and then has become the level, if that makes sense? Because Calvert-Lewin's the only one.
Done, but there was no pressure on him because we bought him for £1 million.
And we had like the likes of Lukaku in the first game.
Listen, there's been players, I wouldn't say a centre forward.
That's what I was thinking about after watching the game. It's like the likes of like Dibble, the likes of Barry and stuff. It's like I'm not writing either.
No, but it's a lot of money.
Has there ever been, I don't know, a player like Jared Branthwaite maybe is another one who's sort of like that, but he had to go out on loan for it, where, you know, you've signed him, he's played a few games, maybe not been quite at it, and then he comes back in at a later date. And what do we do with Dibble and Barry?
I think what...
It's just as a question. I'm not saying...
No, I get... I think we've had players. So I think someone like Sandro Ramirez, there's a lot of pressure put on him. Even though we only paid £5 million. But his wages were quite high. But we put this pressure on him that he was going to be amazing. And it was like almost like there was no dampening down of the expectation, and he was given the number 9 shirt. It was too much hype for a player who really should have been allowed to bed in. Other centre forwards, we've bought centre forwards but we've never paid this kind of money. But it depends on how you relate. It depends on how you think that's a lot of money now. And sadly, it isn't a lot of money in football anymore. It just isn't.
Yeah.
What we paid for Barry, I don't think that's a lot of money in football anymore. I really don't. Dibbling yet a little bit more, but we've paid for a player long term, and Barry we've paid for a player long term. I think what we've got to do is have a patience of the kind of patience where it's like I was saying before, where we just go, we understand that he's not going to be ready straight away, and if he gets subbed at half time, that's just the way it is. That's part of the journey. Yeah. I think the biggest problem, I said this last week, the biggest problem with Barry is not having another centre forward who can take the pressure off.
Yeah,
him.
that's the
big problem. That's the Calvert-Lewin was coming through, and he had Richarlison,
No, but his first few games, we had Lukaku as well.
Yeah, we had Lukaku. So we had Lukaku.
Like them two. Yeah. He's got no pressure on him.
I think Moise Keane maybe as well. When you think about it, there was Tosin, Moise Keane, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So, and there was a lot of pressure on Moise Keane. A lot of people were like, he's got to play. And I think Marco Silva relented to that pressure when really shouldn't. He didn't start him in the first couple of games, and then he played him against Villa, and he didn't show anything, and it was like, you're out the team. And then it was actually Dom who did rise to the occasion and start scoring the goals. So Moise Keane signing helped Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Didn't really help Moise Keane. And then Moise Keane got bit, and then obviously COVID come and stuff. So Moise Keane's another one where it's like there was a lot of expectation, and I don't even think it was the price. I think a lot of us thought he was going to be our number one striker, and that was it. Like he was going.
He had a big reputation before he came to Everton. He was seen as like the future of Italy, and he played for Juventus, and he had that whole trend of his celebration and stuff, didn't he? And everyone was. And also, there
was a lot of noise made about the fact that he was racially abused, and the Juventus captain basically said that's on you, not on them, and all this kind of things.
Yeah, he was like, just get over it. Everything.
Well, he did. He basically said that's your fault for celebrating, not their fault for being racist. That, they had that kind of attitude. But there was a lot of so not even about price. It's about, and that's why I go back to Sandro. It's like it's the expectation that they're going to be the number one striker. They're going to take over. And a lot of that comes down to like giving someone the number 9 shirt. That's why I don't believe Bessel should have been given the number 9 shirt personally. But we paid quite a lot of money for Beto as well.
Yeah.
And what we got for what we paid for isn't exactly, you wouldn't exactly say we overpaid for him as well, because we were playing on the drip.
It's just my thoughts on it was that, like players like Moise Keane, and even in some sense players like Lookman and stuff, they were signed sort of with the same reputations that the ones we got now. And there's been loads of other players, and it was just like, but I don't know, what do Everton do with them?
We just have to keep. Can I just say, there's some people in the comments, right, and I'm not going to name them, but they shape every argument so they can have a go at David Moyes. It's so weird. It's literally so weird. Honestly, it's like you shape every argument so it's a dig at David Moyes. It's so weird, and it's just so pathetic as well. Honestly, it's just incredible. Like, how about looking at the player? How about looking at the player and saying, what can he do more of? Barry yesterday was dreadful. Let's get it right. He was dreadful. Everybody knows he was dreadful. It's nothing to do with the manager. It's to do with him not working hard in the game. Everyone knows that. So don't blame the manager. Blame the player for that. And the manager took... How many times have we said, why isn't he sub someone? Yesterday, the manager knew that he took the players off because they were dreadful, and he made changes. Like... Let's not shape conversations to have a go at the manager. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Do you think Pickford should have done better for the goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I thought when I first saw it, I was like, it felt like it was right next to him.
I don't know.
Like
he went with his leg.
Yeah.
And because he didn't get it, it looks really bad.
Yeah.
I think he should have gone with his hands.
Yeah, because it looks like, if I was in goal, I'd have him like, I wouldn't go with my hands, but it's what keepers do, they go with their hands. It looks like someone who's not a keeper who got out there.
I thought he should have gone, but then he makes a brilliant save in the second half, right in the last minute. Where did he get the extra minutes from, by the way?
Pulled it out of half.
So the celebration and the sub, he wouldn't let us bring Seamus on.
Yeah.
Maybe it was for that time where they looked at the fella punching at Taki and decided...
He got punched. That's
he did get punched, didn't he? He did get punched.
So they got 40
But when was getting punched a red card ever?
Yeah. Yeah.
When was getting punched? I'm surprised Taki didn't get sent off for being punched.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
Can you get a retrospective ban for that if you admit that it was wrong?
No, I don't think so.
Just do Monias.
Yeah. Just mad. Just absolutely crazy scenario.
I know, and the first half was 1 minute. I felt like loads happened in the first half.
I was made up. It was only 1 minute.
No, I know, but they scored in the first, and I feel like there was loads of just little stop moments, and it was 1 minute, and then the second half was 8 or 9, and it went to 4.
It's not really about stopping. It's more about things like subs and goals and the ball going out to play for ages and stuff like that. But second half, they always find mad minutes unless it's in the derby.
Yeah.
I mean, even when they said 8 minutes, I was like, where are you getting 8 minutes from? But then I think a few players have been down and stuff, hadn't they? So, and then it was added on too bad. I was like, when they were making a sub, I was like, what are you making a sub for? And then I saw, because like they just added on, and then you saw Njai like hobbling off.
Yeah. With his cramp.
With his cramp, yeah. But very, very strange. But no, listen, great win. Puts us in a nice little position heading into obviously the break and the Manchester City game, and we just hope that everyone has, everyone now gets a good rest, and everyone gets a rest. We hopefully get over some of the injuries, and the likes of Mail and Roll, Branthwaite come back.
Yeah, Mail and Roll I'm excited to see, but I just don't know if we ever will see him. But I think if he comes in any sort of Instagram run, I think there would be an argument to put James Garner permanently at right back for a bit, wouldn't there?
Ian Barron, I don't think modern day footballers are overpriced or overrated, to be honest, mate. I think the reason footballers are so expensive now is because of the rewards. It's as simple as that. You get to the Champions League, you earn a fortune. You get to the Club World Cup. I mean, I don't even know you do that. You earn an absolute fortune. That's the way. That's the simple fact, isn't it? They are commodities to earn you money now. That's just a fact. There's so much money in football that why wouldn't the thing that earns you the money be also massively expensive? Do you know what I mean? It's like buying something for your house, isn't it? Yeah. If you buy cheap shite for your house is going to be worth less than if you buy all the best stuff for your house. It's just that simple, isn't it?
You spend 100 million on Haaland and he scores you 20 goals and then wins you 500 million. It's a worthwhile investment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it is.
At least the players are getting the money as well, not just the owners.
Yeah. 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 It's that simple now. It's horrible because only some of us can afford those players in the first place. So therefore it just becomes a tighter circle, doesn't it?
But then is it to be sort of the opposite? Is that price then that's sort of forced onto the fans in the same sense?
Well, it is because of PSR. That's why they need to get rid of.
But they're earning that much money.
Well, they need to get rid of PSR in this version of PSR. They need to get rid of because clubs are using ticketing as an excuse for why things are so expensive.
Yeah,
they are. I mean, sorry, for PSR, they're saying Villa did it when they put the prices up for £90 to go to the Champions League games. They're like, if you want to be in the Champions League, it costs a fortune to pay these players. And because of PSR, we've got to show where that money comes from. And it has to come from the fans. So if PSR has changed.
I know, but that's also the frustrating bit, isn't it? Is that you're paying, I don't know, Marcus Rashford on loan, 200 grand a week, but then you're making everyone pay £95 for the ticket or whatever.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Or you're spending 100 million on someone.
That's what they'll say, that, well, where do you think that money came from?
Yeah, but then that goes back to the overpriced.
Yeah, but then that's everything, isn't it? Price of milk, isn't it? Everything's going up because just of greed. Because of we've got no. The problem is like everything in life is like we're getting there's less sources, so therefore the people who can put the prices up, and that's the problem. Yeah. Chelsea decided to inflate the market, didn't he?
And Saudis. Everyone
wants to get to the top and everyone wants to be seen as the best, and it's not even about football anymore. It's like a pissing contest, isn't it, for billionaires?
Yeah.
It's more about pissing contest and just being like, well, I got the trophy. You know, I'm a billionaire and I'm
the best billionaire.
No, well, that's it though, isn't it? It's like once you become a billionaire, why do you bother? Do you know what I mean?
Didn't the Newcastle owners say like it's like the easiest like retirement fund, just buying a footy club?
Probably.
It's like you can just sell it and then you're back to being dead rich again.
Probably, yeah. Because it doesn't, especially if you buy a Premier League club, the
value just doesn't go.
The value goes up, not down, because it's because there's only 20 of them, and if you buy one that net is always in the Premier League and is always fighting for Europe, then or you get it to a position where it's fighting for Europe, and the price will go up. If you buy a club and it's not a Champions League club and you make it a Champions League club, like sort of like they've done with Newcastle, they go and sell it now, then the price will go through the roof, won't it? So, and then it's on to somebody else to keep that going.
But then you just don't want them to get relegated, then you lose everything.
Danny, I think the farm foods milk mightn't be from cows though, so
Yeah, farm foods milk.
I don't drink milk, so it doesn't really matter.
Is that by choice or not by choice? Like, does your body let you drink milk?
Yeah,
Do you like milk?
I decided I do like milk, but I decided to drink oat milk instead.
Why? Why if you're farming it?
Because I made a choice in life.
What, do you think it's morally wrong to drink cow's milk?
No, like it's morally wrong. I just decided to make a choice.
But what benefit do you get from the choice?
Why does the benefit have to be for me?
Oh, so it's someone in your house.
No, but why does the benefit have to be for me? What if I just believe that cows shouldn't be milked?
So it was a moral.
What if I think it's weird that we drink the milk of another animal?
But now you're drinking the milk of an oat.
That's fine. It's not an animal. It's not an animal. It's fine.
Baby oats.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, but them cows are only alive for the milk now, aren't they? So they've got a life for that.
That's a very backwards way of looking at it.
They wouldn't be alive right now if we didn't have the milk.
All right, that's fine.
So,
mate, you do you. Milk's nice. Milk is nice.
I don't even drink milk that often.
I just choose.
I don't know why.
I just choose not to. I just choose not to have it.
I don't know why I'm pro milk.
You be pro milk? I'll never be a vegan. I just believe that little choices in life can be made. That's all. That's my own personal. I don't sit here every day. I go have oat milk. I just have oat milk. It's as simple as that. I don't force it on anybody else. It never even
forces on me.
Yeah.
I drink milk in here.
If you drink my oat milk in here, to be fucking words. Never mind anything else.
I've never drank any of it yet.
Yeah. But I do drink chocolate milk, but that's different.
That is true. That you had a big rant about chocolate milk.
But it's the milk of chocolate. They got chocolate and
I don't think chocolate should be milked.
Eddie says milk is gross.
He spent £2 to let us know that.
It's plus $2. Hey, I am not forcing my milk views on anybody. That's the point. That's the point. These are just my milk. Same with alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, do I? So it's like I don't force that on anyone. Let's have a look at some of your Toffee TV Premier comments. Gary says howdy, of course he does. Dan says afternoon, gents. Massive difference when Jake went to centre back. He actually won headers and looked comfy. James Garner just seems to be playing with confidence all over the pitch. Charlie positive, always looking forward rather than 360 turn and lay off backwards. Overall, nice to get a win when not fully deserved on the first hour. Hopefully next 2 weeks we can get Sharad back, which will aid the forward passing. Absolutely correct. Mark Doyle says you can't milk an oat, so it's not milk. No, it's not.
Great point, though.
It's not milk, though, is it? I mean, it isn't milk, is it? It's not milk. It isn't milk.
Do you have cereal often?
Yeah, every day.
You have oat milk with it?
Yeah.
Does it taste different or is it just the same?
No, it's fine, honestly.
I've never tried the other milk. Just cow.
Other milk. What is cow? Do you not think it's weird, though, sometimes when you stop and think,
no, it's
I am drinking.
Yeah, but everything's weird. I'm eating the body of another animal.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's weird. I saw a dead fox annoying.
Oh, did you? Where?
Yeah. On the...
I don't like that.
One? Is it Menlove?
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. I like foxes, the boss.
Or it was a ginger cat, but it looked
no, I don't want any animal to be. I don't want any animal to be that way.
I don't like that.
It does feel weird, though, doesn't it, that we've grown up drinking the milk of another animal.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why haven't we got like pumping stations of just women?
That feels wrong, though.
It feels also wrong, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think.
Would it feel less weird if you own the cow? Like it was your cow.
Then it's straight from the teeth, innit?
No, you can't have a steak. It's got to be pasteurised, hasn't it?
That's what I mean. If I own the cow, I feel like
It's gone weird. It's gone weird.
You know the cow's got a good life here. It's with you, then, don't you? Because I don't know what farm food is into their cows. Do I?
Listen, number one tip for life, right?
I didn't scoop the dead fox up for me to eat.
Number one tip for life: you do whatever you want to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody else. It might be hurting a cow, but as long as it's not hurting.
Like it?
I don't. Again,
You don't know that.
No. I don't know.
Oh yeah, do you have cheese?
No.
No.
Not often. I do have it now, but the point being is, I get what Emma's trying to do. I get what she's trying to do. Because she's like...
Well, there'll be something you have.
Because she's a mad, like, alt-right conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean? Like, tinfoil kind of person. She's, like, trying to trip me up. The point being is, it's not that I'm, like... milk is, yeah, of course, ice cream and all those other things. But if you're drinking cups of tea or coffee or cereal, then you're having milk all day, aren't you? Right?
Yeah.
Now... if I choose to replace that milk with something else for my...
People throwing in other stuff that has milk.
What else has milk?
Ice cream, yogurt, cheeseburgers, cream.
I don't have cream that often. But what point I'm making is, it's not... I'm not allergic to it, right? It ain't going to kill me. It might make me, like, let's just say gassy, right? Who knows, right? Who knows? The point being, I don't sit here every day eating bowls of ice cream, do I? Or eating cheese. You've never seen me eat cheese, have you?
Never seen you eat cheese.
Exactly.
Oh, you did say you have cereal every day.
I do have cereal, but I don't have milk on that cereal.
You have dry cereal?
No, I have oat milk on it.
Oh yeah, that's still milk, though, isn't it?
No, but this is not the point. The point being is...
You had dry cereal.
No, that'd be weird. That'd be really weird. I don't have butter. So most of these things are things that I don't have, or if I do have, are like maybe once in a while. But I have like two of these every day when I'm in here, and I'll have like a cup of tea when I go home. So it's not about going, oh, milk is wrong. I haven't told anyone not to drink milk, have I? Literally haven't, have I? What I'm saying is, it's just about moderation.
People said Baz was going to shout at us for this.
Baz can shout. We did over an hour.
You know what? We done so well.
We're going to go back to it now. Yeah. We did over an hour. Also, right. Yeah, like, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Also, on a Wednesday, I have pasta and meatballs, and the meatballs are...
Every Wednesday?
Yeah.
Well.
Because...
It's every day, like, done like that?
Pretty much. It's easier, mate.
But, like,
you don't cook the tea in your house, do you?
Occasionally.
You don't. You don't.
That's true.
Right.
Not for everyone. For
right.
Myself.
Exactly. You cook it for yourself. So it's easier if you know at the beginning of the week what you're buying. So you go, I'm having that, and that. It creates habits. It also means that you're not like going, oh, I've got nothing and I'll just order a takeaway. So
meatballs is Wednesday.
What's so Tuesday? Meatball, but it's not meatball. It's meat-free meatballs. So I have meat-free meatballs. But then on Friday, when I'm having a burger, it's a proper burger. In fact, it's the best burger you can buy because it's from Marks and Spencer's, and it says on it the best burger ever. So there you go.
What's tonight?
Mark, you don't need milk for calcium. You do when you're like a kid. When you grow up, you don't need it. In fact, I went for my bloods last week because of how often I seem to get sick. And all my bloods are amazing. Like, amazing. Like, even my thing, which I thought was going to be terrible, me cholesterol. I thought my cholesterol was going to be bad, and it's perfect. So, there you go. What a chat. What a chat. Yeah, I have eggs. I have eggs because, again, I'm not a vegan. And also, eggs don't come from cows.
That you know of. I reckon there's dodgy cows.
Fair enough. So you know what? You don't have to be a vegetarian or a vegan just to make little changes in your life. If you want to, you don't have to. You don't have to. But you know what? You might get, I think it was because now and again I was getting a little bit, you know, bloated and stuff. And I think I said to myself, I'll make a couple of changes. It just turns out that I was fat. I wasn't bloated, I was fat. But now and again, you might go, oh, you know what? I feel bloated. We're all guilty of this. We all go, oh, you know what? I feel dreadful today. And we don't do anything about it. Or I feel bloated and we don't do anything about it. And I think I just changed. I think I just went, you know what? I think I'll knock the milk on the head a little bit and see how I am. And I was like, I don't mind this.
Fair.
And that's all it is. So I'm not even 50% vegan. I'm probably 10% vegan. I couldn't look a cow in the eyes. Couldn't. Do you know what I mean? Corned beef hash. No one should be eating corned beef hash, no matter what. That's enough to turn you vegan. Corned beef hash. My missus drinks proper milk, so she drinks proper milk, and she doesn't have the meatballs. These are all my own personal things.
Does she have regular meatballs?
No, she doesn't have any meatballs.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I have meatballs, but I have the... She has normal milk. She thinks I'm fucking weird. Mark, you're absolutely right. I am milking the subject. There you go. Let's move on until we find something else mad to talk about. David Savage says, good afternoon, everyone. Good. It was up yesterday. First half was shocking. The changes at half-time flipped it really. Set the tone. Better come on, instantly track back. One attack and the fans responded. Charlie also drove us forward. Very underrated play, in my opinion. Absolutely. Josh says, afternoon, guys. What a win yesterday. Although I feel Baz won't be at peace until we bounce Villa 4-0 or something soon. Don't blame him, mind that. 0-0 still annoys me. Doesn't really annoy me. I just think it's part of the journey. He's gone the overlap anyway, and Everton have won and Liverpool have lost. His day's going to be great.
Yeah.
His day's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Jamie Carragher. You couldn't cope being Homelander.
I couldn't cope being Homelander.
That's too much power for you.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I think it is.
I don't think it is, because I'd be boss. I'd be a boss superhero. Like, yeah.
No, I think you.
I would overuse it, and I think you know what I'm talking about here. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Be a select.
But I genuinely, I would end wars. I would end wars. There are wars that I'd definitely end. Could I cope? I don't know. Could anyone cope being Homelander?
I could.
Just
built different.
You definitely built different. And you can't run a 5K in under 30 minutes, so you definitely built differently. And also, I don't think cholesterol, is it's myth being bad. I think people die of heart failure, mate, and that's why cholesterol is bad. Sorry to break it to you, but experts have found this stuff out. And I'm taking a lot of vitamins actually. I'm on 2 different vitamins. One's the one that everyone told me to go on. What was the one? There was something that everyone told me to go on. I can't remember what it was called. I am taking vitamin D. I am taking vitamin D in my other multivitamin that I take, and it's not like I was taking gummies. I've taken proper vitamins now from a proper vitamin company. There's a thing, and I don't want to sound there's a thing called the open window, which athletes get, especially runners. And it's when you push yourself too hard, you leave your immune system open. And obviously, maybe it's like on Saturday, because I never went for a run on Friday. I went for back-to-back workout sessions. So I ran 10 miles. And they were back-to-back workout sessions. So I run 10K.
Yeah.
And then I did another one where I had to run 6K. But I had to literally sprint for 4K. After I'd run 10K. So, obviously, at the end of that, my immune system is going to be compromised. And you saw the weather on Saturday night. Yeah. So, it wouldn't be a surprise if I got sick off that. Yeah. So, that's on me. that's on me for just being a hero, isn't it? Really. I'm not eating bone broth, Emma. Come on. That sounds like some witch.
God knows.
You are.
My dad uses that.
Does he? Yeah.
It's just a big white powder.
Yeah. See, someone says I can't be Homelander because of the milk.
He does love milk.
He does love milk, but he likes
much.
breast milk.
He loves all milk, I think.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Mike Raff says it's just me, or do we not start? Do we not start till the second half? Yeah, well, we didn't yesterday, Mike. I mean, the other games, it's a mix. Barry says, I'm glad we are someone's bogey team. It's just that I can think of quite a few teams that are either beating Crystal Palace. No, you're right.
Take it though.
Berta's afternoon, guys. Been saying for weeks we need to use the stadium to its potential, and we finally have that moment. Fantastic result. However, still need to do something about the silent part. If we can add general noise to the reactionary element and create a decent atmosphere throughout the game, I genuinely believe we have something special here and a massive advantage. What's your take on the atmosphere, James?
I think you were sort of right with it, that I think it will eventually grow into something better, but right now it is a bit moody, just purely for the fact that no one knows each other properly yet, and the people around you. I move seat to seat in for every game because I don't have a seat ticket, and you if the people next to you aren't really going for it, you're not going to start singing, are you? And maybe they're thinking the same thing as you, and it's that thing of once everyone gets a bit more comfortable, then I think it will get.
Do you think that Lower South needs to go and have a pint together?
Yeah, I think Everton should just pay for them all to just have a little make mates, and then get them going.
Why not?
Yeah.
Have you been in the lower?
No, I was in the upper.
Right. Have you been not in the lower at all? For the game. So I've not been in the lower, right?
For everything.
So obviously I'm in the upper south. I can't even see the lower because of the steepness. It's weird. I can't even see it. So what? See, on the upper, because we've got the bar, it feels like everyone's together. And I don't know whether you've got that in this, if the lower's got that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something you could massively benefit from, is like, put it this way, when we were in the Gladys Street, right? When we were in the Gladys Street, we had, obviously, a very tight lower, right?
Yeah.
So, when you went, so before the game, the atmosphere built underneath. Everyone's singing. Everyone's together. It's really tight. And everyone's getting the songs going. We've all seen the videos. And I wonder whether, and I've not been in it, and that's why I need people to tell me, I wonder whether them having that would benefit. Like, because when I go up, I go on the escalators, and you'll have seen it in my vlogs. I go on the escalators. And I just see a few people. I get in there early and see a few people, but I can't really see any bars or anything. So I don't know whether there's somewhere where people before the game in the lower, are they all together? Are they singing? I've not seen any videos or anything about this, by the way. So you'll have to educate me. I've not seen anything. Where do people go before the game in the lower? Are they all together? Is there an atmosphere building? Because I do think that's a major part of when the atmosphere gets going underneath, you take the atmosphere upstairs with you and everyone gets going. And it is that familiarity of like GT4, GT3, GT5. We all knew where the
your role,
you knew your role, yeah. GT4 started and everyone else got it going. And I just wonder whether that's like part of the thing, is like if people are the game before the game can do that, is that happening? And I do think, because the lower south is quite quiet, and I don't know what's going down. I'm not going to start pointing fingers at people, but I wonder whether it is that thing of like just having that there's probably a lot of young lads, unless they've got Dutch courage, are going to be like, don't really like, expressing themselves, let's just say that. But put a pint in them, and we all expressed ourselves at that age when you put a pint in us. And I just think little things like that can massively help the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're absolutely. If you could get everyone in the lower south and everyone could go and have a big party somewhere, but like just like, all right, mate, you know what I mean? Like,
make mates with everyone.
Yeah.
We're flying.
Yeah. Bappy says, afternoon, lads. Hope you're all well. Woeful first 60 minutes, but finally turned up the intensity after that. I just want to laugh at the plonker who left after the penalty thing and the game was done in the East Stand. By the way, no issues getting food or drink at half time. Up the freaking Toffees. Good, yeah, it's getting better. It's just that you can't go to the toilet either. That's the only issue. Alex says, afternoon, lads. I'm afraid I have a confession to make. Ahead of the Brighton game, my dad and I visited our Stone on Everton Way. Against Villa and West Ham, we did not. Yesterday we visited the Stone again before the game, so I think our behaviour before the Villa and West Ham game cost us 4 points. Apologies to all Evertonians. There you go. Alex has confirmed that he is the issue. He has definitely confirmed he is the issue. There you go. Paddy says, seeing Jake in his natural position definitely excited me for having him alongside Branthwaite next year, possibly. Additionally, the Palace chap gave Taki a jab in the ribs. Punch feels too strong, but VAR cleared it. Wild man. Anyways, decent win and happy for Jack. Blue Jay says, great results. I won't lie, I didn't expect it, and certainly not at half time. Palace are a good side and we had to ride our luck a little bit. We kept going in the second half though and fought back to win. It was refreshing to see us punish a side for missing their chances for once. It was, it absolutely was. Jay says, afternoon lads, watching Baz last night after the game and he mentioned the strikers. Is it possible Matt Moyes is starting the wrong one in games rather than them just not performing when they start? I think better suits a team that will press you like Palace yesterday, whereas I think Barry is more suited to the likes of West Ham, Villa types games where you have to try and break a side down. Just a thought, and could be wrong, but think it could be a factor rather than the lad who's starting just isn't delivering in every game. Maybe a reason for it. Don't know, Jay. Listen, we haven't really seen enough of Barry to make a real assessment of him yet. And Beto can just blow hot and cold, can't he? And he even blows hot and cold when he scores. Even when he's like on a good run, he may not be playing well, but he just has a knack, doesn't he? So we'll see. Bill says, huge game for 2 hours yesterday. We were so ponderous and poor in the first half. I blame the lack of intensity and setup. We were basically playing 4-4-2 with Njai alongside Barry pressing. Palace were very organised and played through us with ease. The second half, when Charlie came on, flipped the game. He dropped back and stopped their counters. We built momentum and won. It was a big 3 point, even if Moyes looked fuming afterwards because of the first half. Certainly gives the manager food for thought now. I've been calling for Charlie to get minutes and he should have started next game. Then KDH comes back. And Jai left with Jack out against City. Do we try Garner right back? He looked good there, but we need to decide on the makeup of midfield. Overall, a good win, but clearly areas at full-back and striker to improve. Also, we were lucky not to be down, be 3 down at one point. Yet we were, but we showed some grit to come back. First, come back at Hill Dickinson, and it felt good. Absolutely. Kevin says James Garner might be the right back, but he might not be a right back, but he's our best right back. David Savage says, for one of the chances, Taki was at left back and tangled up with his own player and they was through. Not sure what he was doing. No, I know that was the one when Jake O'Brien cleared off the line, wasn't it? And Taki and Michalenko ran into each other.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Oh my God.
bit embarrassing. You alright? You alright, Dave?
Yeah, my throat just went weird then. I'm good.
It went weird. What did it do? Just start like shouting racist stuff, or
Yeah.
or just like throwing.
That's why everyone heard it.
No, just your throat, and you know. Not so Purple. He says, let's have it right. Yes, he was very similar to the Brighton game. We should have been buried at half time. Not complaining, just keeping it real. You keep it real. I won't argue with you, mate. I think, yeah. Andrew L says Garner be perfect play for the World Cup squad, and how he can play anywhere. Steve P says, imagine him if we had their fullbacks, would take us to another level. That Moon has shown what a proper modern fullback is supposed to be. Literally the polar opposite to what we have. You can't have inside dribbling wingers with no fullbacks. It doesn't make any sense. Michalenko's just as bad for it on the other side. 100% agree, mate. Brian Garcia says, are you aware of Tarks being punched in the stomach? Reviewed by VAR, ignored. The VAR official was Craig Pawson. Credit to Tarks for remaining standing and not acting injured, as is so common amongst the cheats. Yeah, we're all aware of that, right? Thanks for the heads up. Graham says, afternoon, great watching us win again. I thought it was a bit harsh to drag Barry off at half time. I know we didn't do a lot, but the entire team was crap in the first half. Royal Blue Rich says, I don't understand that Alcaraz doesn't get more minutes. It's mad. I'd have been playing him over KDH. But what a brilliant win. I was at the lower south. And when it's like that, there's no better place to be. Yeah, I agree. Let's just get it more like that. But I was saying that the other day. It was like, what, he should have been brought on, shouldn't he, against West Ham? Alcaraz,
yeah. Yeah, well, we spoke quite a bit saying that Moyes, for a while, it looked like he was scared to just touch that back three behind the striker.
Yeah.
And like Alcaraz and stuff were obviously the ones he'd never got.
As I said, it's a bit like he signed him, but he's a bit like, yeah, but he's not like a proper signing.
Mm.
So I can just keep him on the bench and no one will be asked.
Yeah. But but he keeps popping up with like a good performance where people can't just forget about him like he would with someone else, where he has to keep playing him.
Yeah. And people like Charlie Alcaraz as well.
Yeah,
like people really like him because they like how hard he works. Yeah. Buck says, afternoon lads, went yesterday. The first half was frustrating, but the last 25 minutes in the second half I had to shout, come on lads, it's my birthday. I mean, that if I heard someone say that at the match, I'd call a steward over and immediately ask them to be kicked out. And the rest was the most exciting I've seen and heard in the new stadium. The extra time was the best atmosphere. The noise just brilliant as it went right around the ground and drowned out everything the Palace fans could sing. And I should know because the ballot put my carer and me right by the fans. It is right, mate. Happy birthday anyway. Kevin says, if Branthwaite was healthy, you'd know who fans will be calling for to play at centre forward. You're talking about Michael Keane? Eddie says, I could see for the Man City game, if Keane is out, that O'Brien is centre-back and Garner's right-back. Charlie and Tim starting over Dibbling. Stuart says, feeling knackered today, up at 5 o'clock, travelled up for the game, got home at 11 o'clock. That second half made the effort worth it. I wish I could have said the same about after Monday. Alcaraz made a huge difference. Let's hope he gets more game time, and we need his dynamism and penetration. Nice word. Adam says, how bad have the refs been this year? Not just in our games, by the way. Why did that knobber keep giving us free kicks when we had clear advantages? Pino got booked for stopping the free kick and then went over and stood even closer. He was. VAR will never improve while they've got these control freaks running it. Whatever happened to Howard Webb's new initiative allowing games to flow? They can't help themselves but whistle at every opportunity. The current set of referees would make for a great netball officials, as they seem to think football is the same non-contact rules. I tell you, there was one yesterday, right? And I couldn't believe it. They were breaking, and Tiernan and Boonham, they won the ball. Someone lost it, and they broke.
It was where Boonham fouled him.
And Boonham brought him down, and he got up, and then he touched one of our players who went down, and he gave the free kick to us, and I could not believe it.
Yeah, we got very lucky.
It was mad. It was like, how on earth? How on earth did you give that free kick? He literally, because they were breaking, and I think they had like a 2-on. They had like a 3-on-2.
Boonham tried the tactical foul.
Yeah.
It didn't work out properly, but then we got a free kick anyway.
That was mad.
Yeah.
Eddie says, I'd take Juve once West Ham get relegated.
Yeah.
Bill says, I was talking about Juve left back this summer when he played England, Senegal, patient, he gets up and down. Stephen Strong says, I'm not buying sports breaks or sheet unique as they are both extortionate. Absolutely. Blue Jay says on the ticket, it looks like the hospitality is the reason. Seat unique aren't selling all of the tickets because they are £250 to £1,000 a ticket. Our fan base aren't global as some of the clubs. So the tens of thousands of tickets that want to go are being priced out. Fans that want to go are being priced out. I said it weeks ago. It's bleeding through to the ground, not being full, and it's unacceptable. Well, good point, well made. Royal Blue Rich says, I don't know how many chances Bet on Barry I've had, but I bet it's not many. It's not just them. We have to make them more chances as well. No, I agree with that, but they also have to just like run into areas where we can make chances for them. Like there was one yesterday. Don't get like there have moments like Barry had one in the first half. Garner again, great ball in, and he doesn't time it. And then there was another one where he runs with the ball, and he looks so slow running with the ball, and the centre back just took it off him. Steve Cosgrove says the Hill Dickinson is definitely becoming our lucky stadium. Long may it continue. Derek says spot on about McNeil. Never mind footballers. I can't think of a sports person who've had such a weakness in their game. They bring in coaches to work on the weaknesses. The fact he can't be arsed shows where his attitude wise. Andrew says, can we F off this idea that we get smashed by Palace for 70-80 minutes? They were the better team in the first half and we were better in the second half. Our manager made changes at our time and they couldn't handle it. We won. Yeah, but they also had two massive chances between like the 50th and 60th minute, didn't he? Some people making out like we played prime Barca. We played it off the pitch, and what's worse, Evertonians, we are agreeing. Dickie says massive result in so many ways. First half shocking as bad as seen for a long time. Subs change, fantastic. Charlie, fantastic cameo. The atmosphere is the best in the ground this season, the last 30 minutes anyway. Graham Lloyd, I've forgotten about the punch on Taki, just laughing at him. Those extra minutes were back pay from Liverpool game. And Paul Davis says Craig Pawson was on VAR, so in his eyes, any Everton player getting punched isn't a red card. He was probably made up with it. There you go. Thank you to everyone for watching. We're doing the final word at 4:30 over on Toffee TV Premiere. Catch us all then. See you later. Bye.